This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hey there, I'm Amber Betts with the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver, and today we're excited to be here with David Diaz of Solstice Personal Training. Hey David, thanks for being here. How are you?
Doing great. Very thankful and looking forward to getting into this. So thank you for having me, Amber.
Absolutely. So tell us about your business and what you offer, what you do.
Okay. Well, let's see. It's been we're coming up on nearly 20 years of being in business.
Wow.
My wife and I were about to have our first child.
Oh, wow.
And we were both, my wife still is an inner city teacher, and I was an inner city teacher just up the road at North High School.
Mm-hmm.
And, but as you might imagine, being an inner city school teacher has its pitfalls sometimes too. The kids were amazing, and I loved every minute there, but it was draining on me. So it was about time to look for a different career. And
Sure.
as I started searching, I was reaching out, kind of put my feelers out there. And it was fall break of, I think, maybe 2004, 2003. And my roommate in college owned a personal training studio in Castle Rock. So I reached out and I said, hey, Don, I'm going to come down. I want to check out your studio. Walked in the studio. It was about 10:30 in the morning. And I walked in and something hit me like a bolt of lightning saying, this is what you'll do next. And
Wow.
so went home, had a conversation with my then pregnant wife, and somehow, some way we leveraged the farm, and we got into the personal training business. I think the idea came in 2004,
Mm-hmm.
fruition, doors open in 2005.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about kind of the classes or services, or a little bit more about kind of what you do for your clients.
Yeah. So for the most part, we're personal training. One-on-one has been our bread and butter. And
Mm-hmm.
what makes us a little bit unique is we have a 5-room studio,
Mm-hmm.
a cardio room, 3 independently equipped workout suites. A lot of our clients like that because there's no waiting for equipment, no distractions. No eyes will be upon you other than your personal trainer. And then we have one other room that's about 2,500 square feet. And that's where we do small or semi-private personal training. We cap those classes at about 6. And it's small enough so the trainer can walk around in correct form. And it's small enough also so it's still an intimate setting. Not as intimate as the one-on-one. We're able to dive a little bit deeper into the folks' goals, their objectives, and whatnot. But it's been a great ride. Biggest loser to date's lost over 200 pounds. Biggest gainer has put on over 60 pounds, and we've helped pro athletes, Olympic hopefuls, and folks that have really never been in a gym before, and then everybody in between as well.
Sure, that's impressive. So, I mean, you kind of touched on this already, but tell us why your clients, and why do they choose you over somebody else? I mean, there's a lot of options out there for fitness, but why do they keep coming back? What sets you apart besides what you already said?
I think it's really about a vibe and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Our last 2 Google reviews, both business owners, both have had personal trainers for over 10 years, but they compare and contrast why they continue to work with us and compare us to some of the folks they've had before. And I believe Chris said personal training sometimes can be a fly-by-night business where somebody gets in the game, they build out a spreadsheet, and they say, you know what, this is how much money I'm going to make. But there's a lot of other pieces behind just the jumping jacks, if you will. So sometimes they're in the game for 2-3 months, maybe a couple of years, and then they switch professions. We've been around for nearly 20 years now. Our full-time staff members have healthcare, have 401k, and I think our longest tenured right now has been with me for 6 years. The longest we've ever had has been with us for about 15 years.
Yeah.
So the consistency in what we present, the consistency in the workouts is huge, but also it's the vibe and the type of trainer we're looking for. And those trainers are knowledgeable, nurturing, and have the best intentions of the client before them. They're not necessarily giving you the workout that they do. They're giving you the workout that you need.
Got it. Awesome. So tell the listeners, do you have any news, specials, updates, things going on?
Not so much. We last 3 clients of the month, I guess, have all lost over 30 pounds.
Nice.
And that was all in semi-private training. And they're all buddies. You know, the guys are the demographics, we'll say they're over 40. And they all work together, and it's fun. It's like I'm back in high school coaching my varsity baseball team, because they're jawing at each other. They're making it competitive. There's playful banter, and each one of them has again dropped over. I believe it's 30 pounds, and one's even gonna run a marathon this coming fall. Cool. So it's been beautiful seeing that happen. That's one of the latest news. And we'll be celebrating an anniversary coming up here too. So yeah, I think that's what's going on at Solstice.
Awesome. So tell the listeners anything you do to give back or get involved in your community.
Yeah. So after leaving the teaching profession and coaching profession, I wanted to, the inner city kids were and continue to be an important piece of my life and my happiness. My wife and I, who Aomi, she's an inner city teacher to this day. She was at North, and she's been at about 6-7 other DPS schools. Currently, she's at GW. But we sent our kids to all neighborhood schools, and one of the things that we really valued was sport. I played baseball collegiately. My wife was on the dance squad at Texas A&M, so we wanted to bring more of that into the inner city. So we tried to create some infrastructure. And over the years, we've done a lot of volunteer at Lake Middle School, and we took basketball teams and softball teams that we coached to playoffs and to city championship games. Never won a city championship, but we volunteered our time. We brought in club sport to the school as well. So we really like to give back. And if we're not working out or at a concert, we're doing some volunteer work for the kids in the neighborhood.
Love that. So that was leads into my next question. What are we doing outside of work? What are we doing for fun? You kind of said it.
Well, we did raise 3 daughters that all went to neighborhood schools.
Okay.
They started at Escuela Valdez, and we were instrumental in some of the turnarounds that happened at that school. And our kids were alongside us. We're getting Dr. Pepper grant money and turning over the playground, and other people doing political things to get millions of dollars for the district to make it what it is today. We had a daughter go to Skinner, another daughter go to Lake, and then 2 of them have already graduated from North, and one is at North currently. Okay. So as you can kind of see, what we do is we love spending time with our family, and we spend time with them coaching their sport or observing their sport. And that's really what we do. As a matter of fact, as our last one, as we will become empty nesters here soon enough, my wife and I are trying to figure out what we're going to start doing again now that our life won't be around our three amazing, beautiful girls.
Sure.
But it'll get back to travel, live music, and I think I might get back into Ironman, scratch golfing, and what else? Something volunteer wise, and something to keep me moving. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, David, that kind of wraps it up. Tell the listeners all the best ways to get a hold of you, your location, website, how to, check you out, book something, whatever.
Yeah. So we've been in business in Edgewater now for about a decade. Before that, we were on the corner of 29th and Spear. So we have been around the neighborhoods for a long time. Currently, we're in Edgewater. So if you know where the northwest corner of Edgewater is, Joyride Brewery is on about 25th and Sheridan. You go 5 blocks west. Don't get to the Edgewater Beer Garden, but we're right in between the two, and we're on the second floor on 25th and Fenton. And most folks seem like they're finding us on a Google search now, Amber. So plug in our zip code, Solstice Personal Training, plug it in, and you'll find our website where you can learn more about us and our trainers, our staffs, some of the clients we've worked with. And you can also find us on social media. We have presence on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and not Snapchat, TikTok.
I was going to say, yeah.
There it is.
Awesome.
I get confused with all the new ones.
There's a lot of them.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, David, thanks for your time. And we want to thank the listeners out there.
Well, appreciate you having me, Amber.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
You all.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.